Hey guys, Arak here, bringing you another gameplay commentary. Now, today I decided to go into a quick match and use only the Lancer, quick match free-for-all that is. Using the Lancer only, because I'm not sure if you've heard, but the Lancer has received a buff, as has, I think, the Hammerburst and the Retro's received what are meant to be small buffs, but I decided to go in and use the Lancer as aggressively as I possibly could, so rushing people pretty much no matter what, and yeah, just basically getting in their faces, meleeing them. Just I wanted to see how viable the Lancer really was in close range Lancer strafing and everything, and I was quite surprised and disappointed in the results in a way. And I wanted to talk about the balancing of Gears of War and what your opinions are on how it should be balanced, because in my mind there's two ways that a game can be balanced. There's the top-down approach and then there's the bottom-up approach, and you might not know what I'm talking about, but what I mean is the top-down approach is you balance the game for the highest level of play, so the highest level of competitive play, you know, you take the statistics from the top ranked games and how it plays out in that scenario, and then you apply balance to that situation, and from that it's almost however it plays out in the lower levels, so, you know, quick free-for-all where people are basically just playing for fun most of the time, I'd say. However it plays out there is just, you know, that's incidental, that's however it plays. If it turns out to be imbalanced in favour of the Gnasher, if it turns out to be retro heavy, if it, you know, like if a grenade's overpowered, then that's just, you know, that's just how it is, because if the game's objectively balanced at the highest level, then any imbalances at lower levels would be down to the players themselves and their play styles. So, you know, I think that, I mean, that's what I would find to be more desirable, whereas I'm not sure if you'll agree with this, but I feel like Epic may be going for the sort of bottom-up approach, which is, say they see, you know, that free-for-all is dominated by Gnashers, then they decide that, well, the Lancer must be underpowered, so we'll buff the Lancer. But in actual fact, the Lancer at launch was already very powerful in ranked team deathmatch and things like that. And now I've been playing ranked execution all day yesterday, and it's just literally the Lancer is so powerful yet again. And I just don't want the game to descend into another Lancer fest like Gears of War 3 was. There's no stopping power, which is great, no active reload, which is great, but I mean, I think you can see from this video, the hipfire Lancer is incredibly accurate, and at close and medium range, the Lancer drops people, you know, almost instantly. And it's just, if this is the change that they have to make people use the Lancer in free-for-all and in quick match TDM and domination, then I can understand it in a way, but it has a knock-on effect, and then at the higher levels, the Lancer becomes just, it ruins the game, and, you know, so it's just a problem. So both ways have their flaws, but look at that. I mean, I can just outstrafe someone with the Lancer when they've got the Gnasher, and it's pretty easy, to be honest. I mean, there's the on-screen reticle, and it's incredibly accurate. I think that a Gnasher user doesn't stand a chance against a rifle user at long range, so a rifle user shouldn't really stand much of a chance in this range that I'm in now. Like, they've added in the melee for the Lancer, which I can understand, because if you're going with the Lancer, you don't have anything to defend yourself, so that's okay. But I think the hipfire should probably be, you know, a little bit less viable, because the hipfire Lancer is pretty much as strong as the Gnasher is from close range. And then at long range, obviously, it's far superior to either of the shotguns. I'm specifically referring to the Lancer here because that's all I use. I'm not very good with the Hammerburst or the Retro or anything like that, but I mean, it does kind of apply, especially after the buff to the Retro. And it's basically, when I say the Lancer, I'm talking about all the rifles, and when I say the Gnasher, I'm talking about all the shotguns, because they operate in quite a similar way. But yeah, this just struck me after having watched the EGL Gears of War Judgment LAN tournament this weekend, which was the first big LAN tournament for Gears Judgment in Europe at least, and it was quite clear that the Lancer was very, very dominant, and this was, you know, knowing that it's being given a buff now as well, it's just a shame really. And I just wanted to know whether what you think. Should the game be balanced around quick match free-for-all, because that's where the majority of the players are, or should it be balanced around the higher levels, like ranked, you know, the ranked matches, ranked execution, and the competitive play, and then let the quick match sort itself out? Or do you think that that's undesirable? Because it is a dilemma, you can't really have both. If the competitive players had it how they wanted it, then the all quick match would be pretty much dominated by the Gnasher, as we saw in the first couple of weeks of the game. But now that the Lancer's been buffed, you know, it's in danger of turning into a rifle fest again. And this dilemma was, I read an interesting post on the Gears forums, and it's really nice to see that on the official Epic forums that some of the developers are actually taking the time to respond to a lot of the comments now. I've noticed it in quite a few posts. I'm assuming this is a sort of a conscious effort to interact with the community a lot more, but yeah, it's good to see. And basically Jim Brown, one of the lead, I think he's the lead level designer, when responding to a thread, he basically said the debate for them has always been, is the Gnasher dominance actually a problem? The Gnasher dominance in quick match, because if the guns are balanced and everybody chooses the Gnasher because they like it, so if everybody's choosing the Gnasher just purely because they like the Gnasher, then that's obviously no problem. And he says he has no issue with that. But the problem is if, say, 80% of kills in quick match free-for-all, or whatever the statistics are, turn out to be from the Gnasher, and that indicates an actual imbalance in the gun mechanics, then that is a problem, and that's the thing they have to wrestle with, because it's very hard to tell whether it's actually, what's causing it, and they kind of have to just play the game and have an intuitive feel to it, whether it feels imbalanced or whether it doesn't. And having said that, from my experience personally, I do feel that the Lancer is quite a bit too strong now. I mean, in this game, I'm being really hyper aggressive with it, getting in close range situations. I mean, this map is pretty much all close range, and it's just easy for me to tear through people who are using the Gnasher, and I just don't think that's really desirable. And then added to that, when you've got 4 people in execution, team firing, 1 person, you get downed. I mean, it's far faster than it was in Gears 3, even with active reload and headshots. And basically what I'm trying to say is, I just don't think that balancing the game around the quick match, TDM free-for-all domination statistics is really going to be an effective thing in this game, because one, free-for-all is quite popular, as is quick match TDM, and due to the map design and the nature of free-for-all particularly, it's chaotic. There's multiple levels, and at the moment the most effective thing that people are finding, particularly for free-for-all, is that the run and gun style of the Gnasher is what is benefiting them the most and providing them with the most fun, because in free-for-all, you don't have teammates, you've got 9 hostile players instead of 5. There are people everywhere, you can't really control the map, you've got no teammates to get you back, and I think that leads itself to a lot of shotgun play, and I think that buffing the rifles due to that would almost be buffing them on an illusion of imbalance, not an actual imbalance. But yeah, thanks a lot for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'd like to hear your thoughts about this, because I know that I do love the Gnasher, so I am a little bit biased. So leave your comments down below, and I'd like to have a bit of discussion, and thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.